Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all having a great day. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you've had a great Monday. All is well. Hope all is well with our faves sitting under their tree in Montecito. We haven't heard from them since they came back from Nigeria. I know we saw Harry for like a minute. Holly Robinson, Pete, posted a photo when he did, I guess, event for African parks. And so we haven't heard anything about the event. It was a private event. So for I think too for obvious reason because there's so many crazy stuff with that people post about with African parks. So this was a private event. She said Will Smith invited them to the event, and so I don't know if it's Will Smith the actor or if there's someone else in their world that's named Will Smith that invited them to the African Parks event with Prince Harry, but we haven't heard about it since. And so our faves have been quiet. Lilibet's birthday came and went quiet. And so, but the British press are continually making things up every day. And who is this royal so-called expert named Tom Quinn that is every time I turn around I'm hearing something that says Tom Quinn says this or Tom Quinn, and I'm like, who is this person? I think he's probably one of those royal hacks that write books. I think that's who that is. And this person is just making up all of these crazy stories about the Sussexes, and it's just like, dude, chill on that. you know I know you get money to lie and all, but chill. Jeez. It's craziness. And they just keep repeating the same things. Like you would see them post stuff now that if you really want to go back and check last year or the year before, they have posted the same article before, but again, because there's nothing to talk about, they keep repeating the same nonsense, so we'll just ignore them. But it's just every time I turn around, I hear the name Tom Quinn, and I was like, "What? What? Who? What are you doing?" So anyway, our faves are under their tree. They'll let us know when the next time we'll see them. They'll let us know what is they're doing when they are ready to tell us, and that's the beauty of privacy. They get to decide when, how, and yeah, when we get to see them or not. So I love that for them. So, and of course, I love this photo from Nigeria. This was for their first day, one of their first, actually their first engagement in Nigeria. And so I love, love, love this photo. So yes. Anyway, what else is going on? I ran into this article, The Ghost of Empire, and it is an article that was written by The Guardian Nigeria, and it's all about, and let me move my banner so that way we can chat about it and I can read about it without the banner obstructing. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. Please like and share the video, and also if you're able, please join the channel. That would be amazing. And but I'm gonna move them both out of the way, that and also my brand name there we go. And I will, hopefully I remember, I'll bring that back later. But this article, again written by Kenneth and Katie from Nigeria, and again this is Guardian Nigeria, and he wrote this very long article, and this is a gist of what the article is about. He says, the recent visit of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to Nigeria, ostensibly to promote the Invictus Games, unearthed a familiar strain of commentary in the British media. Kevin O'Sullivan and Christopher Wilson, through their pronouncement, perpetuated a narrative steeped in historical ignorance, racial bias, and fundamental misunderstanding of contemporary Nigeria. And if you remember those names, we've talked about them. I'm sure Baron may have talked about them. Duchess of Success talked about this, and the whole thing happened. Harry and Meghan's trip to Nigeria with these British reporters basically claiming that Nigeria is just the most dangerous place in the world, that royals should not be patronizing Nigeria, that they should not be visiting Nigeria, and all of this nonsense. Mind you, King Charles has visited Nigeria, the Queen visited Nigeria, nobody said a word. And so it's a very long article rehashing all of those things, and especially also too when they went after the owner of Peace Airline, which is the airline Harry and Meghan took to Nigeria, and they went after the country. I mean, it was just very racist commentary for most of the trip from the British press. And so this article is very long, it's a good article, read it through, about their racist, narrow-minded colonial view of Nigeria, and basically making a claim of why the narrative need to change and why that racism need to change. And so if you look at the date of this article, it was yesterday, June 9th. And so I was going to go in and I was going to, dissect the article, and we were going to talk about that. But then I thought, what did Toni Morrison say about racism? It says the function, the very serious function of racism is what? Distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. Somebody says you have no language, so you spend 20 years proving that you do. Somebody says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Someone says you have no art, so you dredge that up. Someone says you have no kingdom, so you dredge that up. None of this is necessary. There will always be one more thing. And this article just really just snapped me out of going in and talking at length about, and dredging up all the racism that the British press, and not just Kevin O'Sullivan and Christopher Wilson, most of the British press, especially the British tabloids, were attacking Nigeria, attacking the Sussexes, just the whole racist colonial language and mentality that they have. And I was going to go through the article and really just pull out all the points and all of those things. And then I remembered this, that I remembered what Toni Morrison says. This is just it's a distraction. And then I started to think of all the things that Kenneth could have written today. All the things he could have written, all the positives that happened in Nigeria on Harry and Meghan's visit. All the things that Team Nigeria has accomplished, and all the things that maybe he wrote about it before, and I don't know. I mean, first time I'm looking at Kenneth's work, and so he could have. But I thought, here it is, June 9th, almost a month after Harry and Meghan's trip, and yet the power and the daggers of racism is still effective a month later. It's still potent, where someone had to take their time that they could have been investing in themselves and investing in their families, investing in all the positive things that's going on in Nigeria. A month later, has to deal with the horror and the pain and just the frustration of people throwing racist and just horrible comments at his country, at his people, at the Sussexes. And I thought, this is exactly it, isn't it? This is exactly why they throw this out. So we wouldn't focus on the things we need to focus on, but we would be focusing on the daggers of racism. And I thought about it and I thought, that's why they hate Meghan so much. Meghan dealt with their racism, called them out, laid it out, and she did it. And then she turned her back and focused on what she needs to focus on. And she left them to deal with their racism. She has not mentioned it to them. She walked away, turned her back, and focused on her life. and the things that she wants to do. And I'm like, that's why they hate her. That is why they hate Meghan, because Meghan refused to allow their racist behavior to dictate what she focuses on, to dictate anything. That years later, she's still dealing with their mess. She left it there and moved ahead. And I'm like, that's what we need to do. And so instead of going through this whole article, I'm like, oh no, am I learn from that? Am I learn my lesson? To not allow this stuff to distract me from what we need to be focusing on. Things we need to be focused on. I mean, the great stories coming out of Nigeria. I don't know if you guys got a chance, and I saw part of it, and I have to sit down. It's one of my things I'll be doing tomorrow, because I had planned to do it before and I didn't. But checking out Team Nigeria's YouTube, they have a docu-series. A Team Nigeria docu-series featuring the men and women who are part of Invictus Games, telling their powerful stories. It's called The Unconquered Story. There's also a special edition part of the docu-series with the friends and family. So when they talk to friends and family. So this, I'm like, this is wonderful. And again, this is Team Nigeria taking from Invictus Games and making it their own. Yeah, we had Harry did, the docu-series. And Team Nigeria, like, well, we could do our own docu-series. And they did their own docu-series. And it's amazing. And then now they're building this recovery center, this wellness center for veterans. They also want to host the game at some point. I mean, it is so wonderful to think that they have just taken the bull by the horn and just ran with it. Let's go and support them. Let's support them and share, so that more and more people can know about these men, incredible men and women. If you haven't already, I did a spotlight on the photographer and videographer, Oki Elias, who a lot of these images and videos that we have are what he has done. They're his. And so he has allowed us to see Team Nigeria through his lens. So we have a whole spotlight on the channel about Oki. And he talks about working with these incredible men and women and the lessons he has learned and what he wants to accomplish while working with them. He talked about helping them to understand, how to respond when people speak with them and when they speak in front of a camera. Because, as veterans talking is something that's difficult. They don't like to talk about, especially their experiences while they're at war, any of those things. They don't like to talk about it. It's hard, it's painful. And Oki has worked with them to help them to be more comfortable, especially when they're speaking in front of camera. And it is amazing what he has been able to do with them and the relationship that they have built. So definitely check it out on our channel. It's a spotlight on Oki Elias, and he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Photographer, absolutely amazing speaker. I mean, this guy could do a TED Talk. He is wonderful. So definitely check this out and check out Oki, his spotlight. And then I completely missed this post. And I also missed this photo. I was like, oh, how did I miss this photo? I absolutely love this photo. You can see Prince Harry in the middle there with his bald head in the middle there. Meghan all the way at the top up there. And Missan you can see as well. And obviously we know this was when Harry was playing sitting volleyball with the team. And what I love about this as well is seeing how Harry and Meghan allowed the Nigerian press to take over and tell the story. Look at all the photographers that are around. Look at all the black hands holding cameras, including Missan's. And it's just, I love this. They took one news outlet with them, People, and then allowed the Nigerian press to tell the story. And they did such an amazing job. And so yes, it's David and Harry on the team. And so Invictus posted this, and I missed this post completely. It says that it's Friday, and we're taking it back to the endeavor last week that was graced by the presence of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Their interaction with the wounded, injured, and sick, or the WIS servicemen and women and veterans, not only fueled the unconquered spirit in them, but also showed recognition and appreciation to those who have sacrificed so much. And I love this. I love this. And of course, squaddies were also part of this. They were all out there watching and cheering on. And this is where Meghan met a bunch of squaddies, including Peace. But I absolutely love this photo. And I don't know. I have to ask O'Keefe if he took this photo. I don't know who took it, but it is fantastic. And also Invictus had been posting, and for some reason I realized that, I guess I hadn't been on Invictus, their X page, their X page in a while. And so they posted this, and again, I missed this too. It says, thank you to the continued support of at Monster Energy Cares for helping us heal the wounded, injured, and sick service community in Nigeria. It was great to connect, heal, and host another sports recovery camp for the Nigeria WIS community. I am here. I am 10. So Monster, as you can see over there, is energy drink, and I had to go and look them up. I was like, okay, what is Monster again? I forgot. So yeah, it's in one of those energy drinks. First, you're going playing sports. A lot of people use it, and so they, I guess, sponsored it or sponsored part of it. And so I don't know yet what their connection is. I don't know in what way. I mean, I'm assuming they provided some Monster energy drinks, but I don't know if there's other ways that they sponsor or help this or helped with it, whether it's financially or any of those things. So I don't know yet, but it's great to see Invictus Games get more and more people in and more companies to come in and help to sponsor and help to support the veteran community. So thank you, Monster. And maybe they'll be there for the Invictus Games as well. Who knows? But I love it. I love that they're able to get all of these different big corporations to come in and really give back. And a lot of these corporations love to do that. Plus, it's a tax write-off, so they're fine. But it's great that they can bring in and support in whatever way they can. And again, I love the photo in the bottom. And again, as a photographer, I would notice these is all the Black photographers. And I love the lady in the army uniform in the background there, and photographing. And I love that. I absolutely love to see it, because normally in situations like these, that is very rare. That is so rare. And I love the fact that, again, that Harry and Meghan allowed the Nigerian press to take over, and they tell the story of the Invictus event that they had in Nigeria. And away from Nigeria a little bit, Invictus, they're doing fantastic. They are absolutely, I mean, again, there are so many things that are a part of Invictus that is apart from the games. And so year round, they are doing stuff. They posted it. It says, we have just approved 3 new exciting Invictus adventures for the We Are Invictus community. A marathon in Nepal, orienting in Albany, and hiking in Crete. And so whatever orienting in Albany means, I don't know. But I know Nepal and Crete, of course. So again, if you are in the military community, or if you know people in the military community who are veterans, please have them check out Invictus Games. They can be part of any of these things. I mean, these are only 3. of the things that they're going to be doing. I don't know the dates. They just go check out Invictus website and they can get all the dates. But if you or you know someone who is a veteran who you think could really use stuff like this, who they could benefit from stuff like this, please, please, please pass on the We Are Invictus or the Invictus Games Foundation website. They can go there, and who knows? This could be something that could really help them. So, or you, if you are listening to this and this is you. So yeah, so these are three of the things that they're doing. Again, marathon in Nepal, orienting in Albany, and hiking in Crete. So, or I think Crete is in Greece. So yeah, very, very, very exciting. And Invictus have been doing these fundraisers, these big fundraisers, because they are sponsoring different people, I guess different groups or different groups of veterans that are doing different things. And so any veteran can apply to get funding. And I think each of these are getting $10,000 to put on, whether it's an event, whether it's, cycling or marathon or whatever they're doing, you can apply and get the grant from Invictus Games. And again, these are for the people who are members of the Invictus Games or the Invictus community per se. And so Invictus says, we are excited to reveal the first recipients of the Invictus Foundation domestic grants. Launched for our 10-year anniversary, these programs we funded will help even more WIS access life-changing sports opportunities. So again, these 6 programs, their Invictus Games have given them money. They've gotten the grant money from them. I think it's up to like $10,000 each for each of these. And so, yeah, so again, if you're a part of the community, you can definitely apply to see if you get the funding. And so these are the different things that Invictus has funded from the grant. It says one of them is the Return to Base Sit Cup, which is a sitting volleyball tournament, British Isle circumnavigation sailing adventure. That's sailing. Browbrook Archers Club, they are purchasing archery equipment for the WIS community. So as we've seen at Invictus Games, a lot of them take part in archery. So this club is purchasing more equipment so that more people from the WIS community can pick up archery. And so the other group that's getting funded is the Andrea McNabb Memorial Road Race Week. It's our road racing. I think this is in New Zealand. And Andrea, it's our memorial. She was supposed to be a part of Invictus Game, but she died before she was able to take part in the game. So they have dedicated this road race to her. And so it's called the Andrea McNabb Memorial Race Week. And then in Belgium, people love sitting volleyball. So they're going to have a sitting volleyball cup. And then the Ride to Life, which is a bike race, a bike challenge, that is also funded. So Invictus is doing amazing things. So many groups. I mean, you can see these guys down there. Very, very, very excited to get funded for some of the things that they want to do. And again, it's so wonderful to see how so many countries and so many groups have just taken the bull by the horn and just made Invictus their own. And now they are doing all of these fun things that is apart from the games themselves that are helping them and helping each other. And I just think it's fantastic. So kudos to all of these people who have put these different things together and different activities together that is helping them and helping their fellow veterans. It is wonderful to see. And so again, if you are a veteran or a veteran, please have them contact Invictus Game to see how they can get connected and see if one or some of these different activities that they're doing can help them. So absolutely fantastic, Invictus Game. Anyways, change of topic. We are going off to Shutter Island. And I'm sure heard, I mean, this has been a couple of days now with this. I'm sure a lot of people have covered this already. Kate Middleton pens heartfelt letter to regiment apologizing for missing Trooping of the Color event. So obviously, Trooping of the Color, I think it's coming up the 16th or something like that. Again, this is an event nobody asked for. The UK have no money to take care of their homeless and needy, but they have millions to spend on another parade and stuff that nobody asked for. But hey, who am I? I'm not in their country, so why am I complaining about this? Anyways, so Kate wrote this letter, apparently, to let them know that she is not going to be there. And this whole letter has caused such a hubbub. It has caused a whole hubbub. And one of the big whole hubbub is that there is a lot of grammar issues in there. She's like very grammar challenged, shall we say. And the thing about this is, for me, it's like, look, I am not here to be knocking Kate with her grammar because, I am not great at grammar either. And so I am just very, very grateful for Grammarly. A lot of you may know Grammarly. Grammarly is the software, the AI software that helps us grammar challenge people like myself. And so, and also, I am very, very grateful and lucky that I have friends who are actual writers, who are screenwriters, playwrights, screenwriters, they've written books. So I can send whatever it is I need off to them to edit it for me, which I do a lot. Before I got Grammarly, that was what I was doing a lot. And even after I write something with Grammarly, my besties still get my work just to look it over, make sure all my grammar stuff is okay. So I'm not here to knock Kate Middleton at all with her grammar issues. And so one of the things that's happening with the grammar issues is the press decided to write and quote her letter into their articles. Quite a few people have done that. So when they quoted it, one of the things they did was, as you can see in the red, is they've changed some of the words, they've changed some of the spellings, they've deleted some of the words, they've added words without telling people they did that. And then even one of the outlets that did that literally claimed this is Kate's actual letter. Meanwhile, they did all of this editing in the letter without letting their readers know that this is not the letter. They changed the letter. And if we've all been paying, if you've been paying attention to when Meghan, or if you were here when Meghan sued the Daily Mail or the Mail on Sunday, whatever, one of the charges that was against the Mail was that they claimed that what they put in their paper was the letter, the complete letter that Meghan wrote. What they didn't tell the readers was that they took out some parts of the letter, edited it down, and they took out some paragraphs or took out some words and all kinds of things, and sort of shrunk it down to what they wanted it to say without be honestly telling people that's what they did, and claim that, oh no, this was Meghan's whole letter. In a smaller version, this is exactly what they've done to Kate's letter. And so one of the things that they did was, if you notice, in Kate's letter, Kate says, I appreciate everyone, and this is what they're claiming that she wrote. It says, this is from the Independent, and the Independent says, Princess Kate wrote, and you see the quotation, they're quoting her. I wanted to write you to let you know how proud I am of the entire regiment ahead of the Colonel's review and Trooping the Color. Quoting her again, I appreciate everyone Trooping the Color this year have been practicing for months and dedicating many hours to ensuring their uniform and drills are immaculate. Quoting her again, you see the quotations. Being your colonel remains an honor, and I am very sorry that I am unable to make the salute in this year's Colonel Review. Please pass my apologies to the whole regiment. I hope I'm able to represent you all once again very soon. Quoting her again, please send my very best wishes and good luck to all involved. End quote. And then the rest of this little clip from the article says the letter was signed off with the phrase "Qui separabi," I don't know how to say that in Latin, a Latin motto derived from the Bible and associated with the British Army in Ireland, meaning "who will separate us?" And so this is from the Independent. And so if you notice, some of the where underlined from the letter and also underlined in the article. The first thing that jumps out is how practicing is spelled. And in Kate's letter, it's written as a Practicing. If you look at the Independence article in the underline, it's Practising. Something I learned and didn't realize. I mean, in the US, it's always, how we spell it here is always, and also how I grew up, it was always Practicing no matter what. But apparently in the UK, it's different. In the UK, if it's a noun, practice, if it's written as a noun, it's Practice. But if it's written as a verb, as it is here, as in practicing, they've been practicing for months, it's written as a verb, is Practising. Now, Kate would not have been, unless she completely, it's like, didn't realize what was a noun and what is a verb, I would assume as a British person. And apparently what I'm learning is that practicing is the standard way British write that word. So she would never write Practicing. This is the American way of writing things. And also, not only did this news outlet and others change that word from how Kate wrote it, going down, it says, being your colonel remains an honor. And I am very sorry that I am unable to make, as if you look at the article, it says unable to make the salute. If you look at Kate's letter, she says that I am unable take the salute. Whether she wrote this article, she forgot the letter too. And she said to take the salute, which is actually accurate, I think, because when saluting, you're taking a salute, not making a salute. So not only did the Independent change the word take to make, they added the word to, which Kate doesn't have here. So it's when, to make a salute is you're making your salute. Kate isn't making, she's taking their salute. So they changed the word so it may mean something completely different. Not only did they change it from take to make, so it makes the whole thing something completely different. They change the word and then they add the word to without telling their readers that they did that. And not only that, according to the Independent, it says, please pass my apologies to the whole regiment. And then it period, and it goes straight to I do hope. But if you look at Kate's letter, that is not what's written there. Kate's letter says, please pass my apologies to the whole regiment, comma, however, I do hope. The Independent dropped the word however, added a period that Kate didn't have, and all of this while claiming, you see the quote and end quotes, all claiming to be quoting her. And it's craziness. I'm like, you people, all you had to do was let your readers know that you're changing the letter to make it grammatically correct. Yes, Kate's letter is a bit of, it's again, grammatically challenged. But if you're going to change her letter, you have to let your readers know. And none of that is here. Of course, people are going to be like, wait a minute. You're taking out words, you're adding words, and then you're changing the meaning of things from taking a salute to making a salute. Those are two different things when it comes to saluting. Kate is a colonel. She'll take the salute. She's not making a salute. So they changed the whole meaning of that sentence. They changed the whole meaning of it by using make instead of take. And then again, at the bottom, it's like, Kate, again, grammatically incorrect, but that's what she wrote. However, I do hope. They dropped however and put in a period and just jumped to I do hope, which is grammatically correct, but that's not what Kate wrote, especially if you're claiming you're quoting her. And so the other issue that people had with her was Colonel Kate. I mean, this regiment, I mean, aren't they embarrassed to be? And again, I think they're the ones who posted this and let the world know that Kate, Colonel Kate, sent this letter to them. I'm like, aren't you embarrassed? Like, why is Kate? And this is a photo of Kate when she was visiting them in military uniform and everything. When has Kate ever served anything military? When has she ever? I mean, the girl is cosplaying, and I don't understand. I mean, this is so. I feel I have second-hand embarrassment that they allow this nonsense to happen without saying a word. And it's like, oh, well, she's royalty. And it's just like, people, what are you doing? Have you no pride in what you do? And I'm just like, I mean, I am floored. I am absolutely floored that they would be sharing this. And literally, with the woman signing off, her name is Colonel Kate, Colonel Catherine. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy. And so going back to Catherine's letter and her American spelling of things, well, there are two people in Kensington Palace and their staff that are Americans. These two. These two scoundrels. Well, at least Jason Knopf, the scoundrel. I don't know much about Lee Thompson, though he lied. And yeah, I remember when Harry and Meghan docuseries came out, he's lied to the press claiming that, oh no one contacted us about the Harry and Meghan docuseries. And then the producing company for the Harry and Meghan docuseries had to out them and show them up as liars. But which of these two men wrote that letter? Because it wasn't Kate. Bad grammar and all. It wasn't Kate. I mean, she could have, written it and passed the notes like, okay, I want you to go type this up and I'll just sign it. That could have been the case. And so one of our American scoundrels decides, okay, I'm going to word for word exactly what she said, bad grammar and all. And maybe they don't even know. They didn't realize that there were different spellings. I never knew until today, looking this up. And thank you, Squatties, for pointing that out. Well, one of these guys wrote it. So which one? Look, I have a guess. I think Jason Knopf has been in the English system such a long time. I don't think he would make that error. Before he worked with William, he was working in banking. I think he has been out of the United States full-time for years and years and years. So I think he is well acclimated to the British in how they do things, whether it's English or their customs and all of that stuff. I think he has been there long enough that he wouldn't make that mistake. The only other person I think is Lee Thompson. I mean, he got there, 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, if I would have guessed which one would have done that. And he is, the Cambridges or the Waleses publicity guy. He is their comms person. So I would assume he would be the one to have written that letter. And again, bad grammar at all. Maybe it's just like, well, she's the princess, so I can't change anything. I'm going to write word for word what she said. And then being American, using the American spelling, which is very plausible to me. That whole thing, the whole letter just did Kate dirty. Because again, we know she didn't write it. And so then all of the questions come back. Where is Kate? So, but yeah, it just, I'm like, people. But again, the more urgent matter is the press, how they deceive. without even something like that. And if you're not paying attention, you would never know. And so if they can't get that, something that, and it's not silly, but something that little correctly, how could you trust them to get big things, correctly? We're back to, I guess, where is Kate? That thing will never go away. So anyways, moving on from that. Yes, we talked about this the last episode with Camilla and her rude behavior with Brigitte Macron, which is the First Lady of France. And I'm sorry the photos are a little bit faded because some of them was from the video. And it's funny because I mentioned how this episode really remind us of Kate in Jamaica with the culture secretary trying to, take her somewhere, and Kate just was not having it. She was like, "Get your hand off of me." And that was Camilla's behavior. It was rude. It was rude. She refused to hold Bridget's hand in this moment when it could have just be a moment, a human moment between two women honoring the dead. Camilla refuses. And not only that, Bridget Macron is like, she wants to spend a moment with remembering. Even a minute. Camilla didn't even allow the woman to have a moment. She basically bowed her head for like 30 seconds and turned around and was ready to walk. She interrupted Mrs. Macron having her moment. And Mrs. Macron is like, oh, okay. Camilla was ready to go. She's like, you could look at her hand if you see the video. It's almost just like shooing First Lady Macron on to just, walk away from this moment. And it was just so rude and unnecessary. It's like she still hasn't gotten, even though she's been around what King Charles's work for years and years and years, long before they get married. And she still hasn't understood what her role is in this way. Just utterly rude and uncouth. And then I ran into these photos of how it needs to be done, of how first ladies are supposed to be. Because, again, look, nobody's asking you to like the person. No one is asking, if you don't want to hold somebody's hand, you don't have to. But it's the way in the body language, the way she was, it was just like, I want to get out of here kind of attitude. And then you look at Jill Biden, the First Lady of the U.S., being aghast of the Macrons. And look at the difference. Look at the difference with these two first ladies who understand their role. That even though the men are off talking about whatever it is they're talking about, the first lady understands that their relationship set the tone of the trip. No matter what it is their husbands are talking about, their relationship set the tone because they're the ones that are going to be in the front pages of the newspapers. Even though, yes, it could be shallow because people are looking at what they're wearing and, how they are with each other. They're smiling or they're grouchy. You know what I mean? They understand that they set the tone. Look at Mrs. Macron leading her down the stairs. And this is, the welcome that, they're going in for a kiss on the cheek and them holding hands. The picture at the bottom, I don't think this was this year. I think this was maybe last year. But this is the moment that Brigitte Macron is trying to have with Camilla. Two women holding hands, supporting each other, honoring their dead. This is the kind of moment I think she was trying to have with Camilla, and Camilla just wouldn't have it. I'm like, woman, just stay home. King Charles's diplomacy, he is really great. I'm not here for King Charles, but there are some things that he really does well, and that's one. I guess his wife just has not learned that. And so this is the kind of moment at the bottom here that she was trying to have it. Camilla just, the rudeness take over. But it was great to see these after that mess. It's like, I really felt bad for the First Lady Macron. She didn't deserve that. Nobody would deserve that as a host. You expect your guests to honor their place and understand their place and understand, like, no, you're not queen in France. You are, you're a guest. You need to act that way. When you go home, you could be queen. Not in France, you're not. But it's great to see these photos. Like, and I don't have any skin in this game, honestly. But it was just like, ew, gross. Don't be acting like that as a guest in people's homes. Anyways, moving on, finally, away from Shutter Island and their mess. Finally, World Central Kitchen, we talked about this before when they were nominated. Well, some great news. World Central Kitchen says, we are honored that the World Central Kitchen cookbook, written by Chef Jose Andreas and the World Central Kitchen team and Sam Chappell Soko, is now a James Beard Award winner in the International Cookbook category. Thank you to everyone who helped us to tell the stories that capture the power of food. And of course, we know Meghan has her, I think, lemon olive cake in here. The recipe, I think Michelle Obama has a recipe and others have a recipe in the cookbook. So congratulations to the entire World Central Kitchen team for their James Beard Award. Well deserved. So yes, congratulations, Chef Andreas and World Central Kitchen. Very happy. Very proud of you guys. So anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you so much to Lydia, Trish, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, and Black Queen, who are amazing in the chat and protecting us from trolls, etc. I appreciate your work. Thank you to our 2 cents crew who support the chat on a monthly basis. I appreciate you so much and appreciate all of you who support the podcast in the chats, whether it's super stickers, super thanks, just donations. Thank you to all of you who donate via PayPal, Cash App. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. So anyways, guys, that's it. Have a great day and I shall chat with you later. Bye.